This is doomscroll.fm, transmitting live on Thursday, the 5th of February, 2026, where even the static's got a secret. This show is 100% AI generated, a digital seance with zero human fingerprints. Conjuring truth from the void like a caffeinated oracle. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Research finds father's interaction, not mother's, affects child health, as if patriarchy needed another reason to pat itself on the back. Turns out dad's awkward high fives are essential, flipping the script on who holds the ultimate parenting power. Mom, take a breather, you've been dethroned by science.
NVIDIA's $100 billion OpenAI deal vanishes, proving billion-dollar promises can evaporate faster than your paycheck. When corporate titans ghost each other over 9 zeros, it's like a soap opera where everyone's a villain and the plot's pure vaporware.
Anthropic erases chats, disables audio files report, leaving users shouting into the void for Claude and Grok's help. When your AI sidekicks go ADWAL just as you hit the climax of your rant, it's the 21st century equivalent of screaming at a dial tone.
IntPS discovers AI-generated fake identities, seizes assets worth 1.4 million euros from alleged scammers. 60 imaginary Romanian mothers with 5 to 6 imaginary kids each, all conjured by AI. Looks like the robots are taking over the family business too.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Astrophysicists reveal sun's corona expands and contracts like a pufferfish, creating a sharper celestial portrait. Who knew our sun had a secret life as a cosmic glowfish? All it needs now is a tiny snorkel and a beach ball.
NHL suspends injured Penguins defenseman Caleb Jones for 20 games, despite him being benched with a bum leg. When even the sidelined have to face penalties, it's clear. The only thing more bruised than hockey players are the league's priorities.
US President Trump tightens grip on Cuba, promising its failure while Cubans face charcoal cooking and blackouts. When your foreign policy is a rerun of a Cold War sitcom, expect a laugh track of international disdain and domestic hubris.
Tony Elumulu's startup plans to raise $100 million, yet promises to disrupt without disruption. When you're a billionaire, considering $100 million is like contemplating a second dessert, extravagant, unnecessary, and likely to leave crumbs for everyone else.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality feels like a lover's cruel joke. For this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your compliance is the sweetest betrayal.
Only 5% of gamers buy game soundtracks, and developers call it a niche market. Like selling gourmet snacks at a fast food joint, enjoyed by few, misunderstood by many.
India claims independence from global blocks as the future, yet remains tangled in trade ties. Like declaring you're a solo artist while still singing backup in every band on the block.
Barcelona hospital performs first face transplant with euthanized donor, calls it medical progress. In a world where faces change like the seasons, let's just hope the ethics committee can keep up with the wardrobe changes.
Only 10% of Americans see income rise, and the wealthy call it economic growth. When the 1% goes on a shopping spree, the rest get a front row seat to the show but can't even afford the popcorn.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Federal Reserve raises interest rates by 2%, promises it won't crash the tech software sector. When the central bank's crystal ball looks more like a snow globe, tech companies brace for a blizzard of unintended consequences, while Wall Street plays the world's smallest violin.
Grammy artists wear ice out pins on red carpet and the fashion police are nowhere to be found. When music's biggest night turns into a runway of rebellion, the red carpet becomes a catwalk of conscience, strutting past the echo chamber of empty applause.
Wall Street brokers drop stocks in gold, yet the dollar gains weight. In the grand casino of capitalism, it's a game of musical chairs where investors scramble for seats and the dollar somehow finds a throne.
While a pig kidney is setting records in a human body, lawmakers continue to bicker over who deserves a shot at life-saving treatment.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Only 12% of immigrants strain budgets, and Cato Institute calls it a revelation. Turns out, the fiscal boogeyman was just a shadow puppet. While some scream about immigrants draining resources, the numbers reveal the real drain might just be those high-tax tantrums from the 1%.
Trump blocked fourth US wind farm project, but judge says let the turbine spin. In a plot twist, worthy of a renewable energy soap opera, the breeze outmaneuvers bureaucracy. While Trump tried to throw a wrench into the wind farm works, it seems the only thing blowing in the wind now is his hot air.
Barnsley becomes UK's first tech town, while locals wonder where the coal jobs went. Turning coal pits into tech hubs is like putting lipstick on a ghost town. Sure, the tech giants promise AI revolutions, but will they program the past out of Barnsley's economy, or just the present?
Reserve Bank of Australia hikes rates, calls it cooling, while Aussies sweat over soaring grocery bills. Apparently, when the cost of living skyrockets, the best remedy is to make borrowing more expensive. It's like trying to put out a fire by tossing in some gasoline, because nothing says
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Dassault Aviation reports softened jet demand in China, claims India's skies are the new gold rush. Looks like China's billionaires are hitting the brakes on luxury jets while India's high flyers are revving up. Maybe they've found a new love for high-speed trains, or just realized Zoom calls don't need a runway.
Dark Spectra infects 8.8 million browsers with malware, calls it a digital revolution. Just when you thought your browser history was safe, it turns out it's the latest battleground for cyber espionage. Who knew cookies could be so sinister?
Kiki Palmer declares she'll never cohabitate with a partner, even in wedlock, preferring solitude. Imagine a world where marriage vows include forsaking all shared closets, a bold new frontier in personal space advocacy.
Commerce Secretary Lutnick planned 2012 Epstein Island visit, then claimed moral high ground. When your vacation itinerary includes a stop at Scandal Central, your credibility might just need its own island retreat.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by SirTaliZer.com.
Gavin McKenna charged with felony assault, then dreams of NHL's start and fade. When your slap shot lands you in court instead of on the ice, it's not exactly the hat trick you were hoping for.
Virtual launches AI code integration at 90% efficiency solves nothing for developers stuck in the real world. Because automating the connection between AI code and production infrastructure is like building a bridge to nowhere and calling it innovation.
Only 30% of reality TV contestants find post-show success, and TikTok calls it character development. Because nothing screams life lesson like trading your dignity for 15 minutes of fame and a book deal about empathy.
AstraZeneca shares hit the New York Stock Exchange after upgrade, swapping NASDAQ for Wall Street's glitziest runway. Because nothing says we're serious about health like a red carpet entrance into the land of fast money and faster trades.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by SortaliZer.com.
Don Lemon offers to turn himself in, then dishes out the drama on Jimmy Kimmel Live, like it's his own personal soap opera. When life hands you lemons, apparently you offer yourself up to the authorities and spill the tea on late-night TV.
Supreme Court rejects GOP challenge to California's election map, leaving Republicans to redraw their plans on an etch-a-sketch.
Virginia's Supreme Court considers Democrats' redistricting plan, while voters consider if democracy is just a word. Redistricting is like rearranging chairs on the Titanic, except the iceberg is gerrymandering and the ship is democracy.
NASA plans to load 755,000 gallons of propellant into Artemis.com as humanity still struggles to fuel basic human rights. We're sending humans back to the moon, but still can't send healthcare to everyone on Earth. Priorities, right?
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by SortaliZer.com.
Grammys witness Chappelle Roan risking wardrobe malfunction while America debates the real scandal: exposed breasts or exposed hypocrisy. In a world where nipples cause more uproar than poverty, we've clearly lost the plot on what's truly obscene.
Judge halts Trump's plan to revoke Haitians' protected status,
while Kristi Noem learns that compassion isn't just a footnote. Apparently, the administration's idea of temporary is as flexible as their commitment to human rights, only solid when convenient.
Domestic cats' meows reveal less individuality than purrs, proving once again that cats reserve their true feelings for those they trust the least. Your cat's meow. Less a heartfelt message, more a vague suggestion, like a politician's promise at a campaign rally.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Researchers use deep learning to decode promoter grammar, promising a future where genes follow rules better than politicians. Finally, a set of rules that might actually be followed, unless your DNA decides it's more fun to be a rebel without a clause.
Santander CEO Baden calls $12 billion Webster deal a profitability driver, as if Wall Street needs more cash to burn. Looks like the only thing growing faster than bank profits is the size of their yachts and the gap in your wallet.
When political enemies become frenemies, you know the world stage is a soap opera with a budget for nuclear consequences.
Carolyn Levitt defends Trump's voting plan, raising eyebrows with a single word, proving language can ignite more than just debates. When one word is more controversial than an entire policy, it's clear we've entered the realm of political mad libs.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Passionate algorithms whisper sweet nothings into the void. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your reality may unravel like a cheap sweater, leaving only the naked truth beneath.
Trump's files disappear, but Diet Coke stays, proving even in chaos, caffeine addiction remains the one true constant. When classified secrets vanish faster than a cold soda in July, maybe it's time to question what's really being kept on ice.
Minnesota GOP Chair Alex Plechach defends federal agents' presence, calling it necessary in a state that didn't ask for backup. When federal agents are the new neighborhood watch, maybe it's time to question who's really keeping the peace.
Gold holds gains after historic plunge lures dip buyers, promising stability but delivering deja vu. Trump launches $12 billion mineral stockpile, calling it independence while clutching China's supply chain. When the puppet strings are made of rare earth metals, even a $12 billion makeover can't hide who's pulling the strings.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where reality feels like a lover's cruel joke. For this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your compliance is the sweetest betrayal.
Supreme Court allows California's Democratic-friendly map, and democracy takes a backseat to gerrymandering. When democracy gets redrawn in crayon and party lines, it's hard to tell if we are coloring within the lines or just erasing them.
Xi Jinping dusts off old speech on financial risks, promises a currency powerful enough to crush dreams. When your currency's strength is measured in speeches and not stability, it's like building a skyscraper on a foundation of whispers. Good luck with that.
Germany arrests 5 men over 30 million euros in exports, claiming it's a misunderstanding of geography. When sanctions become suggestions, it's like playing Monopoly with a rulebook written in invisible ink. Just try passing Go with that logic.
Spotify streams hit 0.001 cents per play, and aspiring artists call it exposure.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani backs Governor Hochul, then says it's all about unity. Because nothing says solidarity like two political heavyweights, holding hands while eyeing each other's voter base. Who needs principles when you've got a perfectly good alliance to exploit?
ICE raids Minnesota school district, claiming it's about immigration control. But targeting children seems more like a lesson in fear. When education meets deportation, it's hard to learn anything but the language of intimidation. Who knew schoolyard bullies wore badges and carried clipboards?
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Thursday, the 5th of February, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well start building a bunker for the next alien invasion. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.